संन्यासाश्रमधर्मविधात्री ब्रह्मज्ञानसुधारसदात्रीं सद्गुरुरूपधरां सर्वज्ञाम् अमृतानन्दमयीं प्रणमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। जय जय शङ्कर हर हर शङ्कर, जय जय शङ्कर हर हर शङ्कर, जय जय शङ्कर हर हर शङ्कर, जय जय शङ्कर हर हर शङ्कर। This is the second video of the talk series named Chidambaram. In the last video, I have explained quite clearly what the word Chidambaram means. The word Chid is consciousness and the word Ambaram is sky. The sky of consciousness is termed as Chidambaram. And also I pointed out about the Chidambara Rahasyam, the secret of the sky of consciousness that is depicted quite clearly, though symbolically, in the temple Chidambaram in Tamil Nadu. And we are now discussing about the great life and sayings of the mystic Bhagavan Nityananda. Bhagavan Nityananda Paramahamsa of Ganesh Puri, as I told you last time, is a mystic and master of the highest standards. And he is regarded as an avatar, an incarnation of Lord Shiva himself. And some people view him as an avatar of Dattatreya. Dattatreya in the Purana is the son of Anasuya and Atri, Maharshi Atri and Anasuya Devi. Dattatreya is an incarnation of three great lords of Hinduism, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. So Dattatreya has the elements of these three great lords of Hindu Dharma, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Dattatreya is regarded as the first Avadhuta of the Indian mystic tradition. A mystic in India is generally termed in Sanskrit as Avadhuta. Avadhuta has no attachments. Avadhuta is a free bird. Avadhuta revels in the sky of consciousness. Avadhuta has no rules and regulations. Normally we say that a sannyasi has to wear ochre-colored or orange-colored robes, or at least a loincloth of the ochre color, or a sannyasi has to maintain certain laws of sannyasam. So that is a different tradition. Though sannyasam is considered as the ultimate stage of a human life according to Hinduism, starting from Brahmacharya, the student life, Garhasthya, the householder's life, Vanaprastha, the life of seclusion, life of contemplation, and ultimately sannyasa, the life totally dedicated to moksha. So sannyasa is a moksha ashrama. So a jignasu, a person who wants to know the meaning of life deeper and to realize his self, sets his goal totally towards that and then becomes a renunciant. A renunciate has only one goal, to realize the self, and for that he sheds all his attachments mentally and physically, and then takes the ochre-colored robe, which is a symbol of Agni. Agni has a quality, fire has a quality that it eats everything, it does not remain in it. So when you put something into fire, fire consumes it and makes it holy ash. So like that, a sannyasi also has a fire of knowledge, fire of wisdom, of non-attachment. Vivekam is always set ablaze in him by the Guru lineage. So a sannyasi, in order to represent the quality of fire, takes up the robe of an ochre color or an orange color to remain detached to the world. And he shows that I am a sannyasi by the symbol of wearing orange colored or ochre colored dresses. So, but then there is another class which is beyond all these four ashramas, four varnashramas. So for ashramas, one is brahmacharya, garhastya, second, third vanaprastha, fourth is sannyasa. Sannyasa is the ultimate stage in a Hindu's life. But then there are certain people who go beyond all these ashramas, brahmacharya, garhastya, vanaprastha and sannyasa. They transcend all these ashramas and they do not follow any rules of any stage of life. They don't follow the rules of a brahmachari. They don't follow the rules of a grihastha. They don't follow the rules of a vanaprastha. They don't follow the rules of a sannyasi. They are beyond all these four stages of life, and they are generally known in Shastraic terms as avadhutas or atyashramis. All atyashramis need not be avadhutas. Avadhuta is a person of a very, very different kind of yogic status. Avadhuta usually does not teach anyone verbally. Avadhutas do not resort to words in order to teach a concept to his audience or his followers. Avadhuta is not aware of his followers. Avadhuta is not concerned about his status. Avadhuta is not concerned about pride or about the good things that is described about him or the bad things that may be alleged against him, and Avadhuta is not concerned. His behavior cannot be set to any existing rules of the world, and Avadhuta remains in the world yet not in the world. So in the Shastras you can see there are several mentions about several types of Avadhutas, and Nityananda Paramahamsa was though an avatar, he chose the life of an Avadhuta, a wandering sannyasin I can say, but he is not a formal sannyasi. He has detached himself from all attachments of life and he is free like a free bird, like Garuda. So Avadhuta is not by choice. We can't become an Avadhuta. Tomorrow onwards I'll behave like an Avadhuta. That is not possible. The realization of Kundalini, the realization of the Shakti within makes one an Avadhuta. When the Kula Kundalini, the coiled serpent power in the body of everyone in the world, every being in the world, when it is awakened and when it is brought to the highest ultimate state of realization, that is usually called Shiva Shakti Samyogam, when the Shakti of the serpent power, the Kundalini, is brought to the ultimate level of realization in the Sahasrara, and then union of Shiva and Shakti happens, that union makes a person absolutely blissful, and he is Ananda Swarupi, he is Shakti Swarupi. A person who has realized his own innate Kundalini Shakti becomes an Avadhuta. By any means. It can be by the means of chanting a mantra, it can be by means of practicing certain types of yoga, it can be by means of practicing stillness of vision. There are n number of methods to become an Avadhuta, but it is not sure at all that anybody who practices these will become an Avadhuta. There is no assurance at all. Only when the Shiva Shakti Samyogam happens that you become an Avadhuta. And Avadhuta normally behaves very oddly. Now, I remember there was one great Avadhuta near to the town where I live. He was known as Achar Swami. Achar, in any language in India, is Achar is pickle. This Swami used to eat bottles of pickle together, bottles of them, 10 bottles, 15 bottles, 20 bottles of pickle together. In the beginning of his appearance in these areas, we don't know where he has come from. So many people say that he is from the North India. He is from Kashi, Banaras. So many stories are about it, but an Avadhuta never tells about these. And he used to sit on the veranda of a dilapidated building, and so many people, even including great sannyasins, used to visit him and prostrate at his feet. I too was almost a regular visitor during the last years of his life. He is no more. He is entered into Mahasamadhi, and I was lucky enough to have the golden opportunity to give the first lecture at his Samadhi. That is on the way to Kannur. From Calicut to Kannur, you can see there is a place called Chengottakavu, just before reaching Koilandi. And to the left side, you can see the Avadhuta Mandapam of the Avadhuta Swami. His name is not known, his parents are not known, his whereabouts, no idea. Such is an Avadhuta. He used to just sit and murmur something, utter something, murmur something in some unknown language to some creatures we don't know. He never speaks to anybody face to face. He says something, and some people who are intelligent enough, or some people who are very deep in their spiritual practices, may be able to gain some out of it, but not everyone. And near to the place where this Avadhuta existed, there is a place called Koilandi, Pantalayini to be exact. There's a place called Pantalayini. In Pantalayini there was a small Shasta temple. Shasta means Guru, master. He who teaches is Shasta. So there was a Shasta temple. One fine morning, wee hours of the day, not morning, wee hours of the day, when it was still dark, one lady who used to do household chores at a local advocate's lawyer's house. The lawyer's name was Ishwarayar. The lawyer's name was Ishwarayar. Ishwarayar was a very pious Smartha Brahmin. Ishwarayar's servant, one Miss Ummamma, heard a cry of a child, a newborn baby, in the nearby temple. She went in search of the cry and saw that a very fair boy child, was lying on the floor crying. Around him was a big serpent, keeping its hood as if it is an umbrella, and Ummamma feared to near it. When it saw Ummamma, the snake went away or disappeared. The story, both these things are told in the biographies of Nityananda Bhagavan. And the snake disappeared, and Ummamma had no issues at that time. For a long time they were having no issues, no child at home. So she took care of this boy, and actually Bhagavan Nityananda has no parents. We don't know who his parents are. That's why last time I told you that Nityananda Bhagavan was found born. That was actually not a term, not a phrase fit for describing somebody's birth, but such special creatures or such special people like Nityananda need to be referred to like that, because he was found born in that temple premises, and Ummamma took care of him. He was a dear child of Ummamma, and especially the locality. And with his foster mother Ummamma, Bhagavan Nityananda used to be a servant even from the very childhood to Mr. Ishwarayar, who was a lawyer. And Ishwarayar was a very pious Brahmin and even Upasaka of Surya. He used to perform his Gayatri Mantra Sahasravarti daily. Ishwarayar found a speciality in the boy Raman. It was Ishwarayar who named or christened is a word found by the Westerners to name a person, but I would say Ishwaraya named this boy as Raman. The word Raman means the joyful, the most pleasant. Ram means to enjoy, to revel. To Raman means, the word Rama means joy personified, Ananda Rupa. So it was true to the word that Raman grew up being a joyful bird of realization. And Ishwaraya took care of Umama and Raman. Raman, when he reached about the age of 14, at the request of Ishwaraya, started on a journey to the holy places of India, especially North India. They traveled together and reached Banaras. I think they visited Haridwar, Badri, and then came to Banaras. In Kashi, Raman touched the feet of his foster father, you can say, Ishwaraya, and said, I am not coming with you to Calicut. I am going to remain in Kashi for some more days. You can go back. But Ishwaraya could not bear the pain of being separated from Raman, leaving Raman alone there, because Ishwaraya felt that Raman is too young a kid to perform tapas alone in a strange place called Kashi. But Raman assured him, nothing would happen to me, nothing wrong would happen to me. You can go happily and remain tapas at home. Whenever you really feel that Raman's presence is needed at your home, I will be present. That was child Nityananda's assurance to Ishwaraya, a very pious Smarta Brahmin who was pivotal in shaping Nityananda, and also he was pivotal in giving us Nityananda as a healthy boy, because Raman had a lot of health issues in the beginning. When he was a child, he used to have a lot of attacks of diseases, and it was Ishwaraya's mercy that gave Raman proper health and care. So all the devotees all over the world must be thankful in remembrance of the great soul, the realized soul, Ishwaraya, for being a foster father to the entire community of mystics. Because Nityananda is considered as a king of Avadhutas. So with this, we end in today's session, because it's already 18 minutes. We will meet day after tomorrow with another episode of Nityananda's biography, and slowly we will enter into the great mystical monologues of Bhagavan Nityananda. Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev.